It looks like Kayla Yakov with her third pole of the season.
Yeah, Josh Herron, Ty Scott. Then we have DeMario, Hayes, and Blake Davis just outside of row number 2. Now, all these guys are moving up one because we don't have Avery in our Dreyer. So we got Bender, Kettleston, Doyle, Enriquez, Lamandry Jr., and Jarrett Nassani. Sneed, Maggs, Grigg, Oster, Zaragoza, and Cowan. Saw Grant yesterday have a little tip over, so glad to see he's back out there with us today as well.
Red lights on, revs are going up. Here we go, we're away racing. It looks like M4XR Suzuki's Ty Scott got a good launch. Yakov from the inside though, Herron looking for some room. And it's going to be Kayla Yakov who's going to lead us into turn number 1 and 2, and up the hill we go.
What a start from Ty Scott, who this morning had a big accident, Greg. That team has been hard at work getting that bike put together so that Ty would be able to make the race. So that team did a really nice job of getting that handled. But look at what Kayla does early, Greg. She just sprints, and she's already trying to break away. I'm looking back a little further to see where Darren Bender is. He's behind DeMario, just there in your shot. DeMario on that orange bike. And but for Kayla right now, she needs to get out there early, try to break away as quickly as she can. It looks like Bender back there was able to slide up the inside of DeMario, so I believe that's going to get him up to 6th early. He'll be behind Josh Hayes now.
So the 19, Kayla Yakov setting the pace on the Rahal Ducati Moto with drop light on those brand new gold tires.
Bender almost just had one,
yeah,
Greg.
Trying to find some grip.
Now I want you to watch here. Herron's so good about going tight into this left. Let's see if he ducks up underneath Ty Scott. Not able to. That tells me Ty Scott carrying a lot of speed as Josh Hayes goes up underneath Blake Davis early to find himself now up to 4th.
Josh Herron, the number 2 on the Rahal Ducati Moto with Desnuda Organic Tequila, trying to find a way around the 70. Now they're starting to close up on Yakov. This is something we've seen here at Ridge, where someone gets out front, gets a bit of a gap, but then it's that top section of the racetrack where they start to reel in the rider out front early.
Yeah, big props to Ty Scott right now. Getting on a bike that has just been crashed, running as hard as he is on this opening lap, when, you know, I'm sure his siding lap and his warm-up lap, he was able to test that bike a little bit. He's going to have Herron for company as they go down into turn 1. Herron's going to slide down the inside. See, Ty Scott's going to try to turn it back up underneath him. But Herron's going to make that pass stick, Greg, so he has now got himself up into 2nd place. And now Bender's going to go to work on Blake Davis.
There was some balancing done after the MotoAmerica weekend. The Suzuki got an extra bump there, and they backed it down just a little bit. They overshot the mark, says Tech Inspection in MotoAmerica, and so a little bit of taken away from that Suzuki GSX-R 750 across the board. So every rider got new maps this weekend. Darren Bender up the inside on the 22.
On Josh Hayes, see if he can slide up the inside of Josh in this next right. Does he make this pass stick? He does. So that was set up in the left-hander prior, and he was able to get that bike up off the edge of the tire a little bit sooner. So right off the bat,
43.4. It's faster than qualifying.
Yeah.
Of course, the lap record around here in race is a 42.2 by Skoltz in 2025.
Now watch this here. Darren's been really good through this section. Look how he closes it. He opens that turn up a little bit, and he's going to try to get his drive out of here the best he can. And he goes tight into turn 6. If Ty Scott opens up the door at all, Bender's going to try to go down the inside. And he tried it, but Ty Scott wasn't allowing it. Good for Ty there as he closes that line off. He's entering that turn about mid-track, and that was where Bender's sweet spot kind of was. So now he's going to try to do something with him up in the 10 and 11 area where he was able to go by Josh Hayes earlier.
A new track for Bender, but he was able to get here and do a track day, so he's familiar with at least which way it turns. But now he's got to figure out only one time this weekend what he's going to do in the dry and how he's going to attack.
Watch him sweep right here. So now he realizes, I think Ty Scott just realized he's there. He's going to try to duck down the inside. If Ty opens up that door, Bender's going to have a go down the inside of him, Greg.
There we go, side by side. Bender really nice and tidy there. So the Celtic Economy Lube and Tire Warhorse rider is going to take the position. He's up to 3rd now. Kayla Yakov, but Herron's got some other tricks up his sleeve as he closes the gap right on Kayla now. Look at Yakov, left part of your screen, using all the curve. You see Herron bouncing the front wheel off the ground. Back to live pictures we go. Herron now in a position to make a pass. He's definitely formulating a plan.
I really like how Kayla goes into that left-hand turn there. That's a preferred spot that we've seen Herron do some work on in years past and even this weekend. So she's going to make it difficult as he has a long look over his shoulder. Kayla continues to lead this race, Hannah.
We've talked so much about it with her this season. She's so eager to get that first win. And
Even when she's sitting on the grid, she's ready to go. She doesn't look nervous. She just looks ready.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament, too, to the changes she's made in her life in the offseason.
They're still operating in lap times that are quicker than what pole position was. That's our top 3 right now.
This is a fast race, faster than I expected. But you also see Josh Herron having a long look over his shoulder. We've known him long enough, the number 2, that when he does that, he's got confidence in his ability to ride this pace, and he's got a little in the tank, and he's going to pull it out when he needs it. What a program Graham Rahall's put together with Ben Spies and the entire team on the Rahal Ducati Moto program. Coming into road racing and with a little different strategy, something brought in for cars. Same team, same motorcycles, different sponsors, different looks and feels, giving each one of these riders and crew in a different identity. I really like what they've really brought to the table as Desnuda Organic Tequila with Josh Herron and Drop Light with Kayla Yakov. And of course, Roller Die Informing with Alessandro DeMario, who's back in 8th place. The Supersport rookie having a good season just behind Brendan Kettleson, Blake Davis, and Josh Hayes up into 5th spot.
And we haven't talked about DeMario much this year, but that's Dominic Doyle. What a shame. Dominic was running 9th at the moment, and obviously something's gone awry with the bike there. But for DeMario, he's done a really nice job keeping his nose clean. If we start to see this lead continue to close down as Darren Binder goes 42.8 that time to a pair of 43.1s. With Kayla, basically what I'm seeing right now is she's just doing her work. She's running these consistent lap times, one after the other, Greg. She's within 0.2 every single lap. You know, Herron's going to want to make a good, solid, clean pass on Kayla. I'm trying to figure out where. She's very strong into turn 1. She's strong into turn 10, and she actually rides a line that Herron actually enjoys riding.
So Binder goes 42.690, fastest lap of the race, closing the gap to 2.1 from Kayla Yakov. He's not taking big chunks out. That was about 0.3 of a second. So Herron's going to be looking again behind him. He's going to gauge that distance to see when he's going to pounce. Also, Hannah, Josh Herron knows the rules, right? We get 3/4 race distance. If for some reason the race stops, it could be over. So what do you got?
so I think that's a really interesting point.
And I think that in the next lap or 2, you're going to see Josh try to squeeze by, as he does it right now, Greg, into turn 1. He goes by.
Kayla's down. Kayla Yakov gets past and alters her line in a place she hasn't been before and tucks the front. So the first big mistake we've seen from Yakov this season. And she's trying to let everyone know what's going on as her motorcycle sitting there. Now we got a battle.
Yes, we do.
It's the 70 of Ty Scott, and here comes the number 4 of Hayes on the BPR Racing Yamaha R9. The 51-year-old still getting after it. And Hayes looking for some room to get around the M4X Star Suzuki rider of Ty Scott. Jason mentioned it. That's got to be a completely brand new built motorcycle. And Hayes, nice move up the inside.
He gets to this checkers flag as we're going to have the white flag this time through for Josh Herron. There it is. And it's Greg, it's a big 10 points that he can pull himself back into this weekend. And, for Josh Herron, he's ridden hard, he's ridden well. And it was a shame to see Kayla have her mishap. But for Herron, this is going to be a great weekend for him.
Getting through some lap traffic as they pull over. And Herron now, once you start popping wheelies, he's all business for the moment, is Josh Herron. He's had a good look around to make sure that his pit board is accurate. Not a racetrack where we have jumbotrons around at some of the other places where you can watch and see exactly how big the lead is. As riders will use everything at their disposal, even a scoring pylon at like Barber Motorsports Park, they'll look at that as well.
And as impressive as his weekend has been in Supersport, I got to tip my hat to Binder as well. He's had horrendous conditions to really learn the racetrack and try to put the fight up. And I think that a pair of second place finishes isn't what he wants, but I don't think he's going to be too upset with taking these 40 points out of the Ridge here at Washington. So Herron's got just a few turns to go here, Greg.
So Josh Herron on the Rahal Ducati Moto with Desnuda Organic Tequila. Played this one right. Kayla Yakov had a jackrabbit start in the first lap. He was able to reel her in, put the pressure on, and when he made his move, it was a miscue from Yakov. not giving her an opportunity to fight for the win. And then Darren Binder ran wide, and the result is what you're looking at right now. Another great performance in the battle for the podium. Still going as Ty Scott shoots down. Hayes has to let off. And so Ty Scott not giving up on the M4XR Suzuki. Here comes Josh Herrin across the line, and he does the double on the weekend. And there's Binder coming across the stripe in the battle for third. And Ty Scott did not give up in this fight
back.
And pushes Josh Hayes off the podium. Hayes must have made a mistake at some point, I think, because there was a bit of a gap, wasn't there? Not the story of the race, at least till the halfway point. But Josh Herrin, dominant, 5.5-second margin of victory. And then that battle for the final spot on the podium between Ty Scott and Josh Hayes ends up in 0.2 of a second.
Great turn, and it was just stuck. We'll figure it out. Great fucking ride.
Josh has made his way to the team. We're hearing some of the excitement.
Look at the championship point standings, and the gap has closed now to 24 points. So Darren Binder leads by 24 points over Josh Herrin. Ty Scott now back 57. Team and rider, and they get to share that podium. And then the celebrations will start. Watch out for that guy, Josh Herrin.